Welcome back. My name is Gabriel with Matt Out, and today we're building templates like these with a little more tools than what you see on my bench right now. Let's get to it. So this over here is the blank I'm going to be using for the seat itself, the bottom part. It might be just a little bit wider than what I need it. Yeah, it's a little bit wider than what I need it, but that's no big deal. I'm going to measure everything out on the actual piece of plywood over here. But what I did do is I cut the back over here to 15 degrees, which is going to give us an idea of the angle for the backrest. And that's what we're going to be starting doing. Over here, all it is a blank. Not blank, I mean this is just a piece of scrap that I pulled out of my scrap wood pile. It's 2.5 inches wide, which is what I'm looking for, and it's pretty straight, so it's going to work. For this, I'm going to need 25 inches, and I'm going to mark it. Right there. All right, so I'm going to put this 25 up against the edge of the plywood over here. And then I'm going to bring this 15 degrees down. So just like that. I want to strike the back edge. I go to the front edge all the way to about 2 inches from the bottom with my felt pen. So right about there. Because this is where the seat's going to start. I'm going to use my pencil and just mark that all the way down. So now I have the angle for my seat, the width of the back lat itself, and now we're going to put on the bench at the bottom. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my combination square at 4.5 right here. I'm going to strike up a line with a pencil all the way across the top. Just like that. This is going to give me my top edge of where the seat is going to start. Now over here, I want it to be 17 inches from the back lat over here to the front. So I'm going to mark that down to 17 inches. Right there. Now the back of the seat is going to be 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So I'm going to put, again, my combination square over here, and I'm going to strike a line of where the back is going to sit. This is where the back is going to sit in relation to the backrest. So now I want to make a curve that's going to go, here I'm going to show you on this thing here, it's going to go like this. So it's going to be like an S curve a little bit, so that it has a place where your butt to go. And what I'm doing, just trying to find an angle. See, it's flat in the bottom. Just gives me, and all I'm doing is I'm using my thumb, and I'm pushing like this onto the back of it, right? So I'm making an S curve. And I'm going to meet the front edge of this with the pencil and just mark off that curve. All right. Now I have the curve for the seat pan. Slight, but it's good enough for whatever we're going to be doing. For the front edge, because I don't want the edge to go straight down, what I'm going to do is use one of these. This is a French curve. It's not a super big one. You can get them pretty big. And I want to get some kind, I almost want to be vertical at the front end of this. I don't want it to go too far ahead. So I might need to adjust the thing a little bit. And yeah, right about there. That's going to be nice. trace that down, and I want to go all the way vertical over here like that. So now I have the shape for the whole like bedpan of this, and we're cutting on this line, so this is all scrap. So I'm going to do a little ball at the top, and what I'm going to use is just a can of spray paint. It's a little bit wider than what we need. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the cap off, and the cap, you can squeeze it a little bit. Just going to bring it right over here, squeeze it just a little bit so it fits in like that and like that. And I'm going to round the tip over like this. What we're going to be doing right now is the legs and the arm support. We're all going to do it in one piece for this template. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the setup that I have right now. So the first thing that I did was mark out the template for my seat onto this right here. And what I did is I just made sure that I had the proper height. So this edge over here is the ground. So from the height from here to the seat where you're going to be sitting, I want it to be at the proper height. So what it is at the front edge of this of the chair, it's going to be at 18 inches total. So we're going to have a lat that's going to be 3/4 of an inch. So that means that this line over here is set at 17¼ inches. This bottom right here is set 4½ inches lower because that's the height of the complete leg. And then I just made it so it's level to the ground. And then I can start doing the rest of the things. What I did was I did a blank, or this is just a piece of scrap wood that I would never use anyways. And I made it at the dimensions that this leg is going to be. The width, not the thickness. It's going to be 2x stock that I'm going to be using for this. So what I did, I just put it where I want it to be. I cut at 40 inches. I tried 45 degrees. It was just too much of an angle, and I wasn't able to get the legs that I wanted. So I ended up finding an angle that worked for me, and I think 40 degrees is going to work out pretty good. All right. Next, I marked out the height of the armrest. Over here is going to be 25 inches. And then I took the offcut for this leg, and I just tried to find a place where this would work out pretty decently. And I cut a line on top where 3 inches, so it's going to give me, where I can go. So it's nice and square to this, so it's going to be at 90th of that. And I cut a piece that's going to be 3 inches wide. And I did the same thing for the top here for the armrest. So it just gives me an idea of where this armrest can go. So the blanks one's going to be 2x, is going to be the same size as these materials I just showed you. All right. This will end up being a template just to show me the exact size of the piece of wood, because I need to know the distance between the top edge over here and where the leg's gonna come out after the template is done. So I'm going to be using this piece to do that. All right, so that's all of the stuff for layout. So the idea is that the leg has to fit inside of these lines. And, you know, inside the frame of the chair. All right, so some of the limitations for the legs. It cannot go further back than the backrest, and it can't go more forward than the front part of the seat. The reason for that is, the reason why we can't go further back or ahead of the seat dimensions is a tripping hazard. If the back leg is further back to the backrest, then you can trip on it if you're passing behind it, and the same thing is true if it's further in front of where you're sitting. Just, you're not going to be looking all the way down to your legs, and if you're going to hit something, you want to hit the chair at a level where it's not going to trip you. All right, so I'm going to start off with this leg over here, the one going all the way across. The limitations again is where this one's going to be able to go in. The furthest I can cut a bridle joint is 3 inches, so that's this threshold right up here to the bottom. So I need to bring this and curve it inside that threshold. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use a clamp over here to help me out. And I wouldn't mind having a little bit of a rounded tip. So I can probably bring this up a little bit and just clamp that down. And again, I want to bring it somewhere where I can shape the top edge over here a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. Take a pen. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark that. Right around there. And so what I'll do, I'll round up the front edge over here. I'll use the smallest radius I can find on my cleat, on my French curves. I think that one's going to be good enough. I can just round that over. Now the round over will do one thing. It's going to help with the strength, so it's not going to chip out later on. So that's one of the reasons why I like having that there. Okay, now we're going to go to the back edge of the same leg. We want to have a continuity of the angle. And again, our limitations are the material length. So I think that's going to be good. So I'm just going to try and put a clamp over here maybe. Okay, so that looks good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and do this leg over here next. Okay. Like that. No, don't like that. Now this is the creative process. I'm looking at the angle, see if I like it. After marking it, I did not like this angle over here. I would love it maybe over there maybe. Give me more of a crotch area. Let's try that. Let's try that. Yeah, I like that better. So This one goes narrow in the front, this one goes a little bit farther in the back. I'm just going to round this off for the same reasons as we did for the other one. There you go. Just like that. Okay. And I think that's going to work out pretty good. Now I can make a crotch really easily over here, or just the angle that I want. So we'll go ahead and do that. So it's going to meet up this leg to that leg, just like that. Yeah, that's going to work. And the same thing in the front here. Okay, so I got the legs pretty much where I want them the first try, which is awesome. Now we're on to the actual armrest. I don't know if I should turn this around. Yeah, I'm going to turn my piece of plywood here around and work this upside down a little bit. Like that. All right. So the idea, I want this to curve in a little bit, so I got room for, you know, my arm. So I'm just going to do that. See if I can get some kind of angle that I like. Ideally, I would like to have the bigger angle at the back here than at the front. I think that works. There you go. I think that's going to look pretty darn good. This is where that's going to end up. Make a nice fat transition here. Like that. That's good. I'm okay with that. Okay, so now the bottom part. I'm just trying to get a transition to something that's going to look nice over here. That. Okay. That's going to work. Just like that. Okay. I think I'm happy with this. All right, so we just showed you guys how we build our armrests, our legs, the back support, and like the seat itself. What I didn't show you was the top rail or the back lats over here. Mainly it's a time issue thing. We did exactly the same way as we did everything else, except for the material. The material over here is something that's a little bit easier to work with than plywood when it comes to making templates. It's laminated flooring that you can get at like Home Depot and stuff like that. It's the stuff that clips into each other. That's fake wood. Has like grain, whatever. What I like about it is that it's impact resistant by nature because it's flooring, and it has that durable coating on top of it, so when I'm using double-sided tape, it doesn't rip apart the first time I use it. Well, hopefully. Other than that, if you like this type of content, leave a like. If you want to join into the conversation, go ahead into the comment section below. I'll answer any questions you have. And yeah, if you absolutely love this kind of content, subscribe. I'll see you next time. I'm Gabriel.